Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. It is May 4th, 2017, and tonight was Extreme Rules. The show was good. It had some good matches here and there. It had some matches that were just you know. Overall, I liked the show. I thought the show was pretty good. I mean, like I said, there were some matches that it went okay, some matches that were really good. And I don't know, thinking about it now, you guys are going to ask me already, out of 10, what would you give it? Maybe a 7 or almost an 8. I don't know if I could say an 8, but almost an 8. 7 for sure, though. I do got to say, one thing people keep asking me since the show started, why didn't they have the LED ring post? And that was because of the steel cage. They couldn't have the bigger ring post there with the same steel cage setup that they've always used, unless they would have maybe, built a bigger cage or something. So that's why they didn't have the LED ring posts, but they did have the LED boards on the sides of the ring. All right. Let's see who is here with us. We've got Dylan Nolan, Dreidel for FMK, Bernadette Kors, Stop the One, Jordan Mollett, Andre Suicida, Omar Stewart, Tyler Spencer, Ted Sancha, Noam Gupta, Supreme Bree, what is going on? Litboy 18, Cesar Bardales, Angelo, I lost some of you. Angelo Romero, Dacos 1972, Boss Gamer, Caitlin Allison, Christopher Rotz. What is going on? I know a lot of you are probably here for the announcement I got. That's going to come a little bit later. We're going to talk Extreme Rules first. I got to forewarn you, if you guys call in and you don't talk Extreme Rules, I'm going to cut you off because we're just talking Extreme Rules tonight, nothing else. We're going to try and keep it 5-6 minute calls. Phone number is 559-475-8473. If you do want to call in and talk Extreme Rules, let's try to stay on topic here tonight. Let me know what you guys thought of the show. Let me know what you think could, come out of Extreme Rules going forward into Great Balls of Fire. So yeah, the show started off. We had a kickoff match. It was Kalisto taking on Apollo Crews. It was a for a kickoff show match, it was actually rather good. A lot better than most of the pre-show matches we've seen as of late. Crowd got into it decently well by the end of the match. Both did all kinds of flying moves, including Kalisto doing a springboard 450, body block to Crews on the floor. Titus O'Neil was at ringside as the coach of Apollo Crews, cheering him on the entire way. They traded near falls until Crews hit a standing shooting star press. Kalisto kicked out, and O'Neil was yelling at Crews. Kalisto then did the Selena del Sol, kicking off of O'Neil and pinned Crews. Show then opened up with the IC title match, where the stipulation was if, Dean Ambrose got disqualified, he would lose his championship. So a lot of people going into this match was like, oh, they're going to do something where Maurice slaps The Miz, and then the referee goes, oh, well, I guess I have to disqualify Dean Ambrose because The Miz was attacked, I guess you can say. Some people also thought that we would see Elias Sampson involved in this match, which we didn't. They had a good long match to start off the show. Both damaged the other's knees with figure 4 leg locks. The finish saw Miz tell Maurice to slap him, and Miz then told the referee to DQ Ambrose for the outside interference. John Cone, the referee, was mad, didn't really know exactly what to do, so he just said, you know what, I'm throwing Maurice out. Go to the back. As the ref was yelling at Maurice to leave, Miz kicked Ambrose low, and that made him fall into James Cone, knocking him over. Cone thought that Ambrose knocked him down intentionally, started yelling one another. Cone went over to the timekeeper's area, almost disqualified Dean Ambrose for attacking the referee, and when this happened, it led it to The Miz hitting the skull-crushing finale and getting the pin clean in the middle of the ring pretty much. 1-2-3, new Intercontinental Champion, only the second person ever to become a 7-time Intercontinental Champion, and that record is 9, held by Chris Jericho. Can The Miz beat it? I don't know if The Miz would ever beat the record of 9 and get 10 Intercontinental Championships. But, Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim, how are you?
Pretty good. What's going on? What do you think of Extreme Rules?
I'm going to be completely honest. I think the show was pretty fun, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was solid. First, for people who didn't see it pre-show, Kalisto, Apollo Crews, it was a fantastic match. The crowd was into it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was not expecting... Those two put on a great match. I was not expecting that on the pre-show. Okay, then we had the show. We started off with the Intercontinental Championship, which was, I would say, a weird match.
No,
it wasn't...
I don't think it was weird.
Well, when I say weird, it was just like, look, not every match is gonna, build up a story, and I felt like that the whole low blow thing that Dean Ambrose did, that was like, he already did that, so he's not gonna do it again.
Right.
And that was like the only way I could see like the Miz winning. And look, I'm happy. I'm happy. Miz has the Intercontinental Championship. He makes the championship actually mean something. And for people, I know people are entitled to their opinions, and that's fine. A lot of people say that Dean Ambrose is boring and lazy. I don't think he's boring and lazy. It's just he doesn't add something to the championship.
Exactly.
Dean Ambrose with a championship or without a championship, he's still the same, which is kind of a problem for him.
Right.
The finish was kind of weird. Because Maurice got thrown out, and then he was kind of being distracted somehow with the referee not calling. I don't know how a referee takes that long to make a decision to ring the bell or not.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, and then for him just to look back into the ring and see the Miz going for a skull-crushing finale and going back. I know it's a storyline, I know it's scripted, but it's still weird to see, like, oh, come on, you should... It doesn't make no sense.
Now, okay, answer me this one. Did you watch Talking Smack?
Talking Smack.
Talking Smack, but Raw Talk, I mean.
Raw Talk? Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest, not the whole thing. I only watched the first segment with The Miz, and Miz was great.
Okay, did you hear where Renee Young kind of asked The Miz if he had the referee working for him at that point?
Oh, yeah, I actually did, but I didn't really assume so much of it, because I thought, it was just like Renee Young being biased,
Right. So, I mean, a lot of times stuff that happens on that Raw Talk or Talking Smack doesn't always translate over, but maybe that could be something where maybe Dean Ambrose brings it up saying, hey, did you have the referee working in your favor? Did he, try to distract me by saying he was going to disqualify me in your favor? Maybe they do go that route. It's something that could keep the story going and elevate it more.
It would be really interesting. Like, I could see that keep going, because, I mean, like, a lot of people are bored of The Miz against Dean. I'm not, I enjoy it. The Miz is great, and Dean is, he's fantastic. Rivalry is just fantastic. They'll still have good chemistry with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not put up, like, 5-star matches, or, like, how The Miz said, match of the year. Maybe not so, but they still put up a good, a good match.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what was next after that? That was the next match was,
I'm going to have to cut you off here, though, because we have a lot of people trying to call in right now. And we don't have the time for everybody to run down the card.
Okay, that's fine. No, don't worry about it.
All right. Thank you for the call. Have a good night.
No problem. You too.
All right, take this call here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what'd you think of Extreme Rules?
It was good, and everything. I think I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Well, the main event, you think it should have been a extreme elimination match? You think it would have been better?
I don't think it would have made a difference if it was elimination or not, to be honest. I think the match was really, really good. I really enjoyed the match.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if it was elimination, I honestly think it was better that it wasn't elimination because the way Joe won just out of nowhere couldn't have happened if it was elimination.
So, I don't know. So you think they're starting to do the storyline between him and Lesnar now?
Well, they have to.
With
He's going to challenge in 5 weeks at Great Balls of Fire.
Mm. So I wonder. Never mind. That's you say you don't want to talk about only Extreme Rules.
Well, does it have to do from Extreme Rules going forward, or?
Yeah, it was something with I was thinking. You think how are they gonna make it like the Samoa Joe lose that match?
Right, and that's what I was thinking. That's going to be a tough one because you just made Samoa Joe look like the strongest guy on your brand other than, Brock Lesnar, of course. And I don't know how they do get out of this. That's gonna be the big question is how does Joe lose?
Unless it's by DQ or something like that.
But then if they do something like that, then Joe can, like, say Brock gets himself DQ'd or Joe gets DQ'd or something. Then there's going to be a thing of, will they do the rematch? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if Brock gets himself DQ'd or something. Or if Brock gets DQ'd some way.
And with the Hardys, now that they lost the title, what do you think they're going to do with them?
Well, they got to get their rematch. So I think we'll still see the Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro going to Great Balls of Fire. And I don't know if they should give the Hardys the titles back, to be honest. I don't see Matt going broken yet. Because if you remember when he went broken in TNA, he went broken because he took that swanton through a table. Right. And after that, he was like completely knocked out. They had to stretcher him out. And here, he was the one that pulled Jeff out of the steel cage, out of the ring. So he was still coherent and fine for the most part. So I don't know, people were messaging me as soon as that match ended, the Hardys lost. Are they going broken? What's going on? But I don't think we're going to come to Raw tomorrow or even the following week and Matt be broken. It just didn't play right for me.
But my other question is, now that Samoa Joe became the number one contender, what are they going to do with Seth?
With Seth?
Yeah.
That is the big question because, they could go the route of Seth versus Roman. I know they want to do Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. You can almost say maybe have him challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, but then, you still have to do the rematch with Miz and Dean Ambrose first. So really the only thing I can see is maybe since Roman has nobody to go up against, they start something Roman-Seth.
Well, I thought the plan was going from Roman to Miz.
They can eventually. Like, what I heard was Roman would challenge Miz eventually for the championship. I didn't hear if it was at Great Balls of Fire or at SummerSlam. So, there's still time down the road to have Roman Reigns challenge Miz. He doesn't have to do it right away.
Well, that's all I have for today.
All right. Thanks for the call. Have a great night.
Anytime. You too.
All right. Let's check out the chat. I saw some things here. Robert Cathy is here saying that Miz is awesome on the mic. Him and Neville are the best heels. He asked if Miz got in Renee's ass on the after show, and he did. Renee sent out a tweet. I don't remember exactly what the tweet said, but it was pretty much in favor of Dean Ambrose. And soon as Miz walked up for Raw Talk, Renee tried to, start at the interview, and he was like, wait. You sent out this tweet. You're biased. As a journalist, you can't be biased like this because of your relationship with my opponent. And he just ripped into her the entire time, you've got a relationship with Dean Ambrose. So of course you think what we did was wrong. Of course you think what we did was shady and this and that. And, Dean Ambrose, or not Dean Ambrose, but Miz and Renee Young have a good chemistry together as far as going back and forth on the mic and stuff. I really, really like that. There's another one I saw here in the chat I wanted to talk about, but I don't see it now. Oh, Noam Gupta says, great show, was shorter than Raw. It felt shorter than a Raw to me. Like when we got to that main event, which, they started talking about the main event. They did the video package right at the top of the hour, at the final hour of the show. The match went right up to, I want to say it ended at 10 minutes after or before the hour was up. And, the whole show it flew by. Raw never flies by. I start Raw and I'm just like, man, when is this show going to end? But this show, I was like, wow, we're at the main event already? And it could have been the fact of they just went match, had a couple promos and interviews in between. But yeah, the show went by really quickly. It flowed very well. And like I said earlier, most of the matches were good. There were a couple matches I was just like, whatever about, like the Raw Women's Championship match, the mixed tag match. But yeah, let's see what else you guys are talking about here in the chat before we go farther with our review. Chris Grissom says the pay-per-view was overall very good from start to finish. I think every match was great. Samoa Joe versus Brock equals a sellout crowd. I think this was a smart booking decision based on that fact, and I agree with that. I think that's a really good way of looking at it as far as they could sell out with that, because it is a dream match that people have been thinking that they've wanted to see for quite some time now. Let's see. Yeah, Fenga says that Chris saying that every match was great. You can't really say that. And like I said, Raw Women's Championship match, I'll say some stuff about that here in a minute when we get to it. And then the mixed tag, it was okay for a mixed tag. Fanga 80 says Elias versus Kalisto. You can go that route if you wanted. Two guys that aren't really doing much. Kalisto did beat Apollo Crews, so that kind of finishes off that. So you got to do something with Elias Sampson. Why not? Kalisto can pull a good match out of him, probably. All right, let's talk more Extreme Rules, and then we'll take some more of these calls. After the IC title match, Bayley was interviewed backstage. Bayley made fun of the This Is Your Life segment. She said she's been studying Tommy Dreamer and Sandman and even Steve Blackman, and talked about seeing Wonder Woman this week and how it inspired her, and she wants to inspire other people and regain her championship. It came off a little cheesy to me, especially the whole name-dropping stuff of Tommy Dreamer and Sandman, and she studied how they wield kendo sticks, and even Steve Black. It just came off a little cheesy to me. We then had Rich Swann and Sasha Banks versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. It was a basic mixed tag match. Banks did double knees off the top rope to the floor onto Dar, and then Dar got in the ring where Swann pinned him with a Phoenix Splash. Swann and Banks danced together after the match. It felt like a really quick Raw Cruiserweight segment match to me. There was one spot where Swann and I'm pretty sure this was what it was. Swann and Sasha were in the ring. Noam Dar and Alicia Fox were outside, and they both dove out of from the ring into the ring. It was a cool spot there. Other than that, the match was just okay. We then had the Raw Women's Championship match, and this match was really, really bad. It was Alexa Bliss defending her championship against Bayley, the former champion, in a kendo stick on a pole match. And all it really is, because when you see on a pole matches before, it was you get that whatever on the pole, and then you get to use it. But this was the women climb up there, and they just knock it off so then somebody can use it. Story of this match is that Bayley was too nice, and she wouldn't pull the trigger to use that kendo stick. Match actually was a lot shorter than I expected, especially with them not having as many matches as usual on this card. So early on in the match, both women climbed to the top rope, and they were fighting on the top rope for the kendo stick. Alexa's up there, and they made reference to how Bayley only has to climb to the second rope to reach it, and Alexa has to climb to the top rope because she's shorter, and this and that. So they're both on the top rope, and Bayley reaches for the kendo stick. As Bayley's going to pull it down, Alexa kind of like hits and yanks on Bayley. They both fall down. The kendo stick falls down, lands in the ring. Bayley then got the stick first, but she was very hesitant to use it. Bliss got the stick from Bayley, hit Bayley a few times. Bayley came back with the belly to belly. She tried to get the stick, but Bliss knocked it from her. She got the kendo stick and set it in the corner. After a few more kendo shots, Bliss then just randomly, hit the DDT. Boom, we're done. That was it. Match finish to me came a little out of nowhere. It was just like, wow, it's over already. I thought the match had just started like a minute ago. Like, it went so quick. and it buried Bayley. Bayley is now dead on the main roster. Any momentum she had coming out of NXT, any fans that were like, woo, Bayley, that aren't, 12 years old and younger, don't care about Bayley no more because they've made Bayley look like a joke in this Alexa Bliss rivalry. I mean, you guys can contradict me on this if you want, but I think they've made Bayley a complete joke now on the main roster. Take this phone call here. Oh, no, lost him. See if he calls back here. Look at the chat while I wait for this. See if he calls back. Litboy18, why can't Bayley turn heel? I think it's the same, additive with Roman Reigns. He's a babyface in their eyes. He sells more merch that way. If Bayley's a babyface, she's going to sell merch than the heels. Now, I'm not sure how much the Alexa Bliss merch is going, but I have heard something saying that it's right up there with the Bayley merch because Alexa Bliss is so good. So that notion of heels don't sell merch as well as baby faces and stuff, I don't know if it really applies anymore. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hi. The show was really good. I liked it. And now that Dean Ambrose doesn't have the Intercontinental belt, I was thinking maybe the Shield should get back together soon because Roman Reigns is not doing anything for right now, and Seth is not doing anything right now. They should have the Shield back together. And there's even YouTube clips of maybe having the Balor Club versus the Shield for SummerSlam, and I think that is genius.
Okay, you say there's YouTube clips. Is it from WWE's official YouTube page?
Oh, people you
can't say
matches.
Yeah, you can't say that there's clips on YouTube, so it's looking like it could happen. You can't say that if it's not coming officially from the WWE's YouTube page. And even with that, if you look on WWE.com and stuff, every couple months they post dream match stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't think the Shield should get back together, honestly. And Dean Ambrose is still going to feud with The Miz, getting his rematch for the championship.
And now that they buried Bayley, if they do the draft,
right,
they should put Bayley on SmackDown.
Yes,
Now that they buried.
Yes, now that she's been buried, I thought she should have gone to SmackDown in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah, and she can go against like Charlotte again.
Right.
But she could go against Naomi. She could go against like all the other people that she didn't go against before,
exactly.
Like Natalya. Yeah, because now that they buried her, they're probably going to treat her like she's probably going to get closer and closer to being like Roman.
See, the thing with it is, it's what happened with Daniel Bryan was that they were just burying Daniel Bryan, and they thought that he was somebody that the fans couldn't really get behind, and that somebody that the fans weren't going to see as championship material. And when they just kept burying him and having him lose all the time, and then the fans got behind him, they thought that was because of how they booked him. So now we see that same thing with Bayley, and we see it with Sami Zayn. They lose all the time because then the fans are going to be sympathetic for them and get behind them, and they think it's going to make them a bigger star, which in all honesty, it worked for Daniel Bryan. Okay, cool. Doesn't mean it can work for somebody else. And I honestly, the way they've been killing Bayley, don't think it can work for her at all unless maybe you send her to SmackDown.
Yeah, because she'll work better on SmackDown. And if they do the draft, they should have, I don't know who they should take Bayley's place to be a better baby face.
Right.
It's like hard decision because they can't do Naomi because she's in the Money in the Bank thing. And
no, as of right now, well, they're not doing, if they do a draft, that ain't going to come till well after SummerSlam, if they even do it.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a hard decision for them to pick someone because Bayley was a good wrestler.
Well, I mean, she's still a good wrestler. It's just they've killed her character. Her character now has no credibility because they've pretty much made us feel like she's a kid. She's a kid trying to play wrestler. And she's just not up to par right now. And the way they just buried her with Alexa, it's like she's never going to get there.
Yeah, and they should cut down on time on Raw, like to 2 hours instead of 3.
They can't do that because they can't cut down from 2 to 3 as of right now because the USA Network is paying for 3 hours. And if they're paying for it, they're getting it.
Yeah, but I hope so. I really hope Samoa Joe does a good job with Brock Lesnar. But like the fans were saying, it should have. Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar should be like for SummerSlam or some big
right
thing, and not just.
I know they're hoping that Braun can come back in time for SummerSlam. And I really thought this would have been Seth Rollins. He would have been the perfect person to go against Brock right now, and why they changed it, I don't know. It changed 3 times between last night and an hour before the kickoff show started.
Yeah, because I really thought it would be, Finn Balor, even though he wasn't going to win, it like I heard that it's just a one-time thing.
Yeah, whoever faces Brock is only going to get the match of Great Balls of Fire. And like I said, they're hoping at SummerSlam, which is the pay-per-view after Great Balls of Fire, they can do Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, and I'm thinking Braun Strowman should beat Brock Lesnar. And it's probably going to be a good match. It'll be like Big Show and Brock Lesnar, so it's gonna go a good decent fight. And now what are they gonna do with Austin Aries now that he lost to
That's the big question.
Neville.
What do they do with Austin Aries as far as him losing 3 championship matches in a row? And who challenges Neville next? Is it TJP? Is it somebody like Tozawa, who just came off that great street fight with Brian Kendrick? That's going to be the big question is, who do you now push to take on Neville?
Yeah, and they don't show that much cruiserweight people that much.
Right, and like the thing is now, the only other babyface they've really been pushing as a top babyface in that division, I mean,
is TJP.
Well, he's heel because he's been working with Neville, but maybe Jack Gallagher. I
could see him as a good champion, because it'll be just like how they did with the England champion, maybe by some coincidence we'll get like over here, what happens over there happens over here.
Right. But all right, I gotta say thank you for the call tonight, and have a great night.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, take this call here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Tim?
Pretty good. What did you think of Extreme Rules?
Oh. Hold on, I had you on there. What did you say?
What did you think of Extreme Rules?
I hate to admit it, I actually liked it. I was saying I wasn't going to watch it.
That's what I was just about to say.
Blowout, so I figured I started watching that. It was actually pretty decent.
You were the one person who every week for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think I'm going to skip it.
I was going to skip it, but I mean, the game was a blowout. You blame Steph Curry for me watching the game.
Oh, shoot. I know. I was watching it as well.
No, but I'm going to be honest with you, man. I liked it. I mean, I actually liked the Fatal 5-Way, and I hate to admit it. Oh, God, I hate to admit this, but Roman actually did really well in that. I was surprised.
Exactly. I mean, I've been saying that Roman's better than the fans give him credit for.
All right. I know you keep telling everybody that. You ain't got to rub it in.
Hey.
You're a sore winner, aren't you? But anyway, I just wanted to say, man, I mean, how are you feeling about this Money in the Bank? Because after this one, Money in the Bank, they're going to definitely have to step their game up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't know what other matches other than the 3 matches we know so far, the 2 ladder matches, and 4 matches. We have the 2 ladder matches, we have the WWE title match, and then we have the tag match. That tag match between the Usos and the New Day, that could be a really, really good match. As far as the men's Money in the Bank, I think the guys in that can pull off a good match. The women, we don't know what to expect. And then Jinder Orton rematch, who knows? It could be worse than the first one, depending on how it's booked.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm definitely looking forward to Money in the Bank now. I'm still kind of on the fence still about the women's Money in the Bank. So, I just have a feeling, man, that's just a recipe for disaster because, I mean, they couldn't really handle, they had the two of their most skilled women in the Hell in the Cell, and it was a botch fest. So
Exactly.
I just don't want to see them with a ladder and, Lord, I don't want to see nobody get hurt.
Yeah, and how much you want to bet Charlotte's going to try and do a moonsault off a ladder?
Oh man, that's a given. I mean, that's easy money if you want to bet on that. I mean, she's gonna do a moonsault.
Oh yeah, because when Rick was doing his podcast right after they did the Hell in a Cell, he said they had to tell Charlotte, no, you're not jumping off the Hell in a Cell.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank, and I was surprised I was really pleasantly surprised. It almost make me want to watch Raw tomorrow.
Right. Because, I mean, other than...
almost.
Almost. Okay, gotcha. Because, I mean, to me, other than the mixed tag, which was an okay match, and then that horrible Raw Women's title match, everything else I felt was really good.
I mean, the only good thing about the women's match now that it was short because it was just god awful. It was
right.
I don't know. But look, all these people in the chat about Bailey becoming a heel. I'm for that. Long as they get rid of them Bailey buddies. I hate that crap. I mean, every time she comes in the ring, I just leave. I don't even want to watch it because it just annoys me.
Right.
But other than that, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I actually did enjoy Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
for a little while.
And it was surprising that it was as good as it was. And like I said earlier, the show flowed really well, and it didn't seem like it dragged on like Raw usually does.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing about it. It went so fast.
Yeah.
For the few matches that they had, it went so fast.
Yeah, because like by the time that main event started, I thought we still had maybe another half hour before it was even time for that. I'm
thinking that they was going to show another match after it. I was like, it's over? I mean, but I just got to ask this one question because I'm not trying to, have them people talk about me in the chat. But what did you think of Talking Smack or whatever the heck that is, Talking Raw or whatever the heck it's
Raw
called?
Talk?
Yes, man. Did Miz get in Renee or what?
Oh, I know. He was whole time he was just getting into her on. Oh, you're biased. You and Dean Ambrose. You got going on and this and that, and telling her that she shouldn't be like that because of her job and playing favorites. And he got in her. He walked up and wouldn't even let her say a word.
I'm thinking that, man, I hope this cannot be scripted because, man, nobody should be taking that kind of abuse. I wouldn't take that. WWE don't pay me that kind of, we wouldn't pay me enough to take that kind of abuse. Good Lord. All right, well, Tim, man, I'm not even going to ask about the podcast tomorrow. I talked to HBN, and he's saying he don't know, and I'm quite sure he's going to give me the same excuse, and y'all just got me all hyped up and then took it away. That's cold. That's cold, man. That's all I'm going to tell you, man. Y'all cold people, man.
Hey, I'm sorry for that.
No. The only way y'all could have make that up is give me another podcast. Other than that, I ain't trying to hear sorry.
Gotcha.
All right. You have a good one, man, and enjoying the show as usual, man.
All right. Thanks for the call. Have a great night. All right. So, yeah, I mean, like he was saying, the Talking Smack thing, I alluded to a little bit of it earlier. The Miz, he just came in there and Renee was trying to say, "Are you new Intercontinental Champion?" He was like, "No, don't even play like, you're happy that I won or that you're going to introduce me as a champion because we know that you don't even care." And like it almost made me feel like that Renee's going to get entered into the storyline or something. I don't know. And then the funniest part was when Corey Graves finally walked up because, Corey Graves was the co-host for the show for the night on Raw Talk. He came in after he had called the main event and all that, and he was all on the Miz's side. He's like, "I'm happy you're the champion. I'm glad you're the champion." And then Renee was like, "We're broadcast partners. Aren't we supposed to be on the same page?" And he was like, "Hey, If I see something, I'm going to call it. And he was pretty much like, you know what? You shouldn't have done that, Renee. You shouldn't have played favorites with that tweet. She got heat on it. I don't know if that's legit heat, like backstage heat or anything, but dang. All right, so let's check this chat real fast, and then we're going to talk about this Raw Tag Team title match in a cage. What are you saying? Liv Morgan come to SmackDown? Okay, so I don't even want to talk about that. This is Extreme Rules. Yeah, the chat's not many of you are talking Extreme Rules in the chat. You got to talk about Mike and Maria, talking about who Naomi can be challenged against at Money in the Bank because she doesn't have a challenger anymore. So yeah, Fanga80 says, I know it's the Raw pay-per-view, but it's the post pay-per-view still. Gives time to build Mike for a pay. Okay, never mind. That's SmackDown stuff. So we had the Hardys defending the Raw Tag Team Championships inside a steel cage. And when the match started, they made it clear that yes, typically in cage matches you can win by submission, pinfall, or escaping the cage. But in this match, escape only, and both partners have to escape before you can actually come out victorious. And I liked that because it gave the Hardys kind of like a, they can lose, which they did, but they don't have to actually be pinned or made to submit or anything, and it still makes them look strong, especially with how the finish went down. It made a lot of sense, and I loved it. So there's a few times in the match, Matt tried to climb over, but he was pulled back in. Jeff got out rather quickly, maybe halfway through the match, maybe a little more than halfway, not really 3/4 of the way through, but Jeff got out rather, like I said, about halfway, a little more than halfway through the match. So Matt was in there. He tried to climb out a couple times. They kept pulling him back in. Then at one point, they hit a double white noise on Matt. This then led to Jeff saying, screw it, climbed back in up on top of the cage, hit a whisper in the wind from the top of the cage onto Sheamus and Cesaro, and Jeff sold this move like he was dead. Jeff was just laying there. Matt was trying to wake Jeff up or whatever, getting him to move. He's like, let's go. Sheamus and Cesaro started climbing up the cage. They climbed up and over. Matt got out of the cage. As Matt was pulling Jeff's pretty much lifeless body out that cage, literally as Jeff was falling out the door, Sheamus and Cesaro let go. Boom. They fell just a little bit faster. New Raw Tag Team Champions. And like I said, they didn't have to pin the Hardys. They didn't have to make the Hardys submit. And with it being that Sheamus and Cesaro won by a hair, it still made the Hardys look good, especially since, Matt had to pull Jeff out because Jeff pretty much knocked himself out off that whisper in the wind. But Jeff had already got himself out of the match. So it was like, you know what? Jeff, yes, he came back in and Matt had to drag him out or whatever, but Jeff had already gotten out. So both Hardys were able to escape the cage. Both Sheamus and Cesaro were able to escape the cage. They were just a little bit quicker, new tag champs. So the whole thing was done well. You have new tag team champions. The Hardys still looked very, very, very strong going forward past this. And now the question is, do they get their rematch on Raw or do they get their rematch on Great Balls of Fire? Typically, you would say the pay-per-view, but we have seen here recently, over the last year or so, that a lot of champions get their rematch on Raw or SmackDown, and then they go on to the pay-per-view, and then they lose most of the time, and then go on to the pay-per-view, and there's new challengers for those titles. So, like I said, we don't know when the Hardys will get their rematch, and what's going to go on as far as who challenges at Great Balls of Fire. Robert Cathy here in the chat says that Joe versus Brock is a dream match. I can't believe they booked it. WWE must have gotten some new people there in creative. I'd heard that they wanted the Joe Brock feud to actually be like a long-term feud, maybe over like a month or two, not just like 1 month. So we'll see where it goes. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey Tim, what did you think of Extreme Rules tonight? I thought it was an okay pay-per-view.
Like I said, other than the women's title match and the mixed tag match, I liked everything else about the pay-per-view a lot.
Yeah, I can see where you're gonna be. I thought both the women's matches were all right. it was kind of quick though, the women's title match.
Right.
It just came out of nowhere to me. But I kind of have probably an unpopular opinion. The two matches, so we have Neville versus Austin Aries.
Right.
I feel like that should have went the other way. Maybe Austin Aries would, because there's nobody else. Neville could fight these other guys, right? But he's been dominating the cruiserweight division for the past 5 or 6 months, and that's not really that exciting. And you get a chance with Austin Aries to do some new stuff, but they just don't go for it.
Like I said earlier, if you look at everybody in that division who could challenge Neville, the one person that Neville really hasn't beat is Jack Gallagher. So with the fans really being behind Jack Gallagher and really liking him, do they go forward with him instead of Austin Aries and have Jack Gallagher beat Neville?
Mm-hmm. You also mentioned Akira Tozawa earlier.
Right.
I could see him. The only problem with him is that he's now doing a senton off of the top rope. I don't really like it. I like the German suplex better, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the second match I kind of had a problem with is the, Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Hardys. And now that the Sheamus and Cesaro are the champions, this means the feud is going to continue, and I really don't want to see these two teams face off again. The match was good. It's just, I just really don't want to see it again. You know what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying.
But there's no one really on Raw to challenge the Hardys, so I could get why, except for the Revival. Right. I was kind of hoping they would hold out till SummerSlam, maybe have the Hardys drop the titles to Revival,
Yeah, I could have saw that. That would have been really good as far as, they're going to start pushing the Revival. I know Wilder should be good to go. I don't know if he's been cleared yet, but he should be cleared sometime in June.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just really don't want to see this go on again. It's just, I don't know. I'm kind of waiting for Cesaro to get out of the tag team division, but I don't know when it's going to happen.
And like you were saying about as far as who could challenge for the titles now, if you would have kept the titles on the Hardys, that was a little better because there's more heel teams on Raw. So now if you look at it, if the Hardys go on and they lose again to Sheamus and Cesaro, don't get the titles back, what other babyface team do you have? You got Enzo and Cass, who they might be splitting up.
So, Raw's tag team division is kind of starting to fall apart just to me because there's mostly heels on there.
Right.
And, unless they start doing heels versus heels, which they might do, but, there's not really any baby faces to go against the heels.
Exactly.
Maybe you could there's not really any good baby faces in NXT that you could bring up.
Not that's ready anymore. You could have said DIY, but they're split up. Ciampa's injured, could be out for the rest of the year, depending on his ACL injury.
I really just don't know what to do. Maybe they can build somebody up on SmackDown. Maybe Breezango goes over there. Maybe after SummerSlam, if they do another superstar shakeup, which I don't think they'll do. They might. But if I think Breezango could be a pretty good top face team on Raw.
Yeah. I don't know about giving them the Raw titles, but as far as challengers, I can see them being good challengers.
Yeah. I don't know. So, when do you think goes forward here, after with the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro?
It all really depends on if Matt gets that gimmick. That's what everybody's waiting on. WWE's trying to book around this as far as when can they start building towards Matt being broken, Matt Hardy. But nobody really knows what's going to happen with that and when they get it because Impact's trying to ask for X amount of money. Matt's trying to stall and let it go to court because Matt thinks if it goes to court, he can win and not have to pay for it at all. And so then WWE's just got to sit there and go, man, what do we do while we sit back and wait?
Yeah. I really don't understand why TNA has to be doing this, because they really don't earn anything from it unless they give the gimmick to somebody else, which I could see TNA doing for some reason.
See, the thing is, it's a principle thing, because if it was the other way around and it was WWE had the gimmick and then the Hardys went to Impact, WWE was never even going to even consider. They would never even start negotiating to give the gimmick over. So it's kind of like you know what? You wouldn't do it if it was in your shoes, So they're going to, ask for as much as they can because, one, they need the money. And two, it's like I said, if this was WWE who had the gimmick and Impact was trying to get it, WWE wouldn't even think about, oh no, we own the gimmick, no one's taking anything from us.
Yeah, I can see your point. It's just that saying this gimmick never really okay, so say the Hardys were still in WWE and they wanted to do this gimmick, WWE wouldn't know how over it gets, so I don't think WWE would let the Hardys do this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I can understand hypothetically. And where exactly is Great Balls of Fire supposed to be? One arena is?
Oh, it's in Dallas, Texas.
Is it? For some reason, I really want it to be in an outdoor arena. For some reason, which I know it won't be.
It's going to be in the. I think it's the American Airlines.
Oh.
Yeah, it's where they run Raws and stuff.
Okay, that kind of disappoints me because I had a pretty cool idea. It was kind of like a tribal pay-per-view, but now it looks like it's a 50 pay-per-view.
Yeah, with
because
that video
the original.
Yeah.
But at least something kind of different.
Exactly. It sounds cheesy.
All right, thanks for the. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Well, thank you for the call.
Not a problem.
And have a great night, Tim.
You too.
And I can't wait for the announcement.
Coming soon.
I had a pretty cool idea.
All right. So we had the Cruiserweight title match. Submission match. They made reference to that in submission matches, a title in WWE has only changed hands once before. So then that led us to believe that, maybe Austin Aries can get this title. Why would they make that reference if something wasn't going to happen? But, in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? I think they're going to just stick it with Neville. Neville did retain the title after Aries missed a low tope. Then in the ring, Neville used the red arrow on the back of Austin Aries to kind of, injure the back. Put him in the rings of Saturn. Aries tapped out. It was a good match. I liked the match a lot. The crowd was actually really into this match. Aries was briefly smiling on the floor at one point. Very good reaction from the crowd in a Cruiserweight segment, which usually, even at Payback, when they had their match, the crowd was kind of into it, but they weren't really into it. But tonight, they were really into this match. There were a couple key spots, including Aries getting Neville to tap to the last chancery, but they were outside of the ring, so the ref said it didn't count. At another point, Aries had the move on his move. He had the move on Neville, but it was about to throw the ref for the DQ again. But it's a submission match, so you can't get disqualified. And unlike last time, Aries broke the hold to avoid Neville getting DQ'd, which, like I said, they made it seem like Neville could have got DQ'd, but I think in a submission match, could be wrong, I think in a submission match you can't be DQ'd. But yeah, very good wrestling here. I really liked their chemistry together. Crowd was actually really into it. The finish was very well thought out as far as, you hit that red arrow to his back. Then you put him straight into the rings of Saturn, which cranks on his shoulder and his back. Got no choice but to tap out. But now where do you go from here? What do you do with Austin Aries? He's lost 3 championships in a row, 3 championship matches in a row. And where do you go? What do you do with Aries now? And then Neville, if you look at it, like I've been saying here tonight, the only person that they've made not look bad against Neville, I guess you can say. I know some people are going to say TJ Perkins, but I think Jack Gallagher could be the one because they've been pushing Gallagher as, Gallagher's been there with Aries. Yes, Neville's had TJP, and he said, you know what, you help me take care of Aries, and then I'll give you a shot. But maybe they don't go that route. Maybe he just does the whole, I've been lying to you this whole time to get you, do my dirty work. But I don't know where they, especially with Aries, I don't know what they do with him next. But caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Yeah. Personally, I didn't like it. I know some people thought it was okay. I just personally didn't like it.
As far as the entire show, or?
Well, there were a couple of matches. The pre-show match was good.
Yes.
I really liked that. The main event was decent. I mean, the Intercontinental, I wasn't too keen on it. I mean, Miz, I've always liked Miz, and I'm not usually into WWE guys. But I just, I wasn't too into the cruiserweight match, and I am so ashamed to be a women's wrestling fan right now when it comes to WWE.
Exactly.
Oh, and probably, I can tell you, probably because I watched Progress this weekend before this, and that might have made my, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not going to talk about that. But I'm just saying that sometimes you watch something great, and then you watch this, and it's going to probably sour it.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm just saying, so for me, it's like, right now it's just like, the women's division, it's like, and Raw, SmackDown's not much better, but I ain't talking about that. Right. What can we do with the women's division? Okay. So I'm pretty sure Sasha's probably the only one I could see going up with Alexa next.
Well, they kept teasing Nia Jax because they did the whole thing a couple weeks back after.
Yeah, you could do Nia Jax face.
Right.
You could.
If you really wanted to, you do Nia Jax with Great Balls of Fire. Somehow you have little Alexa Bliss beat Nia Jax, and then you could go Sasha at SummerSlam. But at the same time, what do you do with Bayley? Do you just put her to the side and not use her?
And then that's another thing. People talking about why can't we turn Bayley heel? There's a lot of problems with that.
The biggest problem is, do you really want to see Bayley try to be a heel? I don't think she can pull it off.
Okay. Promo-wise, no. Attitude-wise, yeah. I've seen her be a heel in the indies. She can do it. She can be but she's not going to be like, the best on the mic.
Right.
She's going to be she'd have to be she'd have to be somebody on the other, spectrum.
Right.
She's done it in the indies. She's done it in California, where she's from, wrestled.
Right. Exactly.
But do I want to see her to be like a solo heel? No. The only way I could see her pull it off, there would have to be, there's one way it could be done. I could totally see it be done, and that's you'd have to get them all, Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha.
The 4 horsewomen heel faction?
The 4 horsewomen heel faction would be great. It would probably be, but I just don't see how you can do that. Really, right now, you have to, the whole women's division is in a rebuilding mode, period. Right. Now, the only way I can see that is you'd have to also have, do you know what made a horse and male faction so great? Wasn't just that they were there, but they had Dusty Rhodes, they had all these guys.
Right, the people that they were going up against.
Road Warriors. Yeah, so to me, I think you'd have to wait to do that. You'd have to get, personally, this brand split, this has got to go. This isn't working.
Okay.
It's not. So I would end the brand split. Okay? So there wouldn't be Raw. There wouldn't be a SmackDown. There wouldn't be all these pay-per-views. There would be basically what it is. put Raw back to 2 hours, but that's.
But
I would definitely.
that ain't gonna happen.
But
You can't move Raw back to 2 hours because it's in the contract till 2019 when the contract with the USA expires that Raw's gonna be 3 hours. They're gonna pay WWE for the third hour of Monday Night Raw, and WWE's gonna give it to them whether the ratings are going down because of that third hour or not. If they're getting paid for it, they're gonna give that content. So saying that, oh, you need to move Raw back to 2 hours, people don't understand that legally it's in the contract for their TV. They have to do 3 hours on Monday.
Right. They have to. They don't, they don't want to.
Right.
Okay, I got you. If that's the case, sure. But I'm just saying, but if you were to do the four horsewomen, you'd have to have a face faction to face them. I mean, and I think they might work on that if they're signed with at least two of the three girls. I mean, I could see Ruby Riott, Evie, but anyway, yeah, I just don't see Bayley turning heel.
Yeah, no.
I don't see Sasha. I can only see Nia Jax turn her face. I mean, you don't want to turn Alexa Bliss heel right now.
No, not at all.
I mean, is there a point to want to do it?
Well, yeah, eventually you could.
No, you're going to want to do it eventually.
Yeah, well,
you're going to want to do it. I mean, look, Trish Stratus was a good heel, but she was an equally good face.
Exactly.
I can honestly say this is the new Trish Stratus. This is because she has the same story and everything.
She's getting
I can
there,
compare it.
Yeah, her wrestling can get a little bit better, but I mean, she's still only been around for 3-4 years total.
Right. Wrestling. Yes, I'm sure. But I'm just saying, she's great on the mic. She can get better on the ring. But I'm just saying, she is the new Trish Stratus.
Yeah, she's the best they got. Even better than Charlotte. Some could say, well, Charlotte's better in the ring, but when you put everything together, Alexa is better.
You're saying she's the best they got, or she's the best that they've made.
I think overall she's the best that they got overall, out of all the women they have on the main roster.
Oh, main roster. I thought you were including NXT.
No. I'm just talking about the main roster.
I would disagree. Becky Lynch is the best wrestler.
I don't know. I mean, overall, when you put in character, mic, in-ring work, everything all together, I would say Alexa is a little better.
No. Becky Lynch is not. Becky Lynch is I mean, okay, let me just say this. Becky Lynch is a better wrestler, but in WWE, she holds back a lot.
Yes, but at the same time, how much longer has Becky been doing this than Alexa? Probably a decade longer. So, you can't compare that because she's been doing it for so much longer. And Alexa's only been in, training with WWE for maybe 5-6 years, as long as Charlotte, if not shorter. So,
right. No. Well, you're talking about Becky's been training with Charlotte. No. Well, Becky actually was.
No, about Alexa. Alexa's been training as long as Charlotte has with the WWE.
Yeah. Oh, so she's come a long way.
Right.
Since. So I would say, but I would say, eventually you want to turn it face. You don't want to do it now.
No.
And what do you want to do? What would I do with Bayley? I would probably, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do much with her. I mean, Dana Brooke, I'd fire. Emma, that's the problem. I mean, everyone loves the Emma heel. I mean, could I see her turning face? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I see her being a good face? Yeah. But is it going to be the Evolution crap? No. She's going to have to be a more, down to earth baby face.
Right. But
I could see her turning face for a while. So I'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. All right. So let's check the chat here. Gupta says Bailey goes for help from Banks, and Banks turns on her, making their match at SummerSlam. Could be good, because, I mean, if they're keeping that title on Alexa, but they still want to do Bailey and Sasha Banks, that could be a good way to do it. You know, you finally have Bailey be like, you know what, I need the help. What do I do to get better? And then they put him in like a tag match or something, and then Sasha turns on her. That could be a good way to do it. Let's see. Little Boy says Nia versus Banks versus Bailey for the number one contendership. Two-Face Bliss, yeah, they can maybe go that way, but I mean, why put Bailey in there? Bailey's already lost. She's lost her rematch. She lost her chance. I know they do that all the time. You know, the former champ still gets a rematch, trying to become number one contender again. So, I mean, it happened with, yeah. Let's see. Henry Capoza says WWE needs to sign Tessa Blanchard. I have heard her name's kind of circling for the women's tournament. I don't know if they're going to use her. I've heard her name. I have heard Rachel Ellering's name. As far as women that can represent the United States, I've heard Rachel Ellering's name. She was used at the last set of NXT tapings. And I kind of heard some people talking about Candice LeRae, but it wasn't like that they were like dead set on her. They did use her not too long ago in that women's battle royal on NXT. And it was the first time pretty sure it was the first time they had used Candice LeRae for NXT. So, but I mean, like, with that women's tournament, you got 32 women, and they're going to represent 17 countries. So, you can't have too many people that are from the United States. So, we had the main event. It was Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, all fighting for a shot to take on Brock Lesnar on July 9th. Great Balls of Fire, Dallas, Texas, Universal title on the line. These guys tore down the house. This match was great. So the match starts off, they're all standing there in the ring. You know, you've got 4 guys in corners, and then you have one other guy just standing there. And as soon as that bell rings, Finn and Bray, they start fighting. Joe, Rollins, they start fighting. And Roman's just standing there like, all right, you guys want to tear each other up here early? I'll watch. And the crowd's like booing. Because, you know, the other 4, they spill out to the ringside. And Roman's still just standing there, and he's like, okay, I don't got to take any punishment early. And then I think it was Bray runs in first. Roman takes him down. And then Joe runs in, Roman takes him down. And they go, and boom, and then Joe and Bray start teaming up. They use the ring steps, take down Finn, take down Rollins. Then they start double teaming Finn. And Finn just starts getting destroyed. Like, he was getting killed in the ring. One point, Bray brought in a steel chair, laid it on top of Finn Balor, and said, go for it, Joe. And Joe did his little running senton boom on the steel chair on top of Balor. And then Bray said, set it up again. Let me give it a shot. And he did the same thing. They started beating the crap out of Bray in the corner, or Finn in the corner. And then Joe went to run at Finn, and the chair was set up in the corner, so it was supposed to be like Joe was gonna splash into I keep saying Bray, but it's Finn, into the corner with the chair. Finn moved, Joe went into the chair, and then it just, you know, started breaking down again from there. Rollins seemed like the biggest star of this match. He did a plancha splash off the top, putting Wyatt through the Spanish announce table. Reigns speared Joe and Balor on the floor through the barricade. Rollins used a frog splash on Reigns for a near fall. Rollins used a powerbomb into the buckles, but Reigns came right back with that Superman punch, same spot we saw last week on Raw. The finish of the match saw Finn Balor use the sling blade and the coup de grace on Roman Reigns. As he was going for the pin, Samoa Joe snuck right in behind him, yanked him off of Roman Reigns, put him in that coquina clutch, but they still made Finn look good in losing because he just did the old Stone Cold. You got him in that submission, but he ain't going to tap. He's just going to pass out. So he's just laying there, motionless. Referee finally says, you know what? He's out. Joe wins. Ring the bell. Great Balls of Fire. Like I said, July 9th, Dallas, Texas. Samoa Joe will be facing Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Now let's take this caller right here, and then we're going to get to our announcement. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim, what's up?
What did you think of Extreme Rules?
I thought it was okay. Most of the matches didn't end the right way. Like, I did not understand how the Hardy match ended.
Okay, right way as far as how you wanted them to end, or what? What do you
I
mean?
don't understand the rule with if you get back in the cage, you have to exit.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, but I mean, hey, he got back in the cage, so I get that. I mean, I kind of get it.
I mean, I have never heard of that rule in all the matches I've seen.
But how many times have you really seen in the past where the person that got out first gets back in before the match is even over? I don't remember the last time that actually ever happened. Usually, the one partner comes out, and then either they end up losing or the next partner comes out and they win. You rarely, if ever, see the first partner to come out actually go back in while the match is still active.
So what does this mean for the Hardys? I mean, are they getting a rematch, or are they going to get broken?
They have to get the rematch because the rematch clause. Champion loses, they're automatically guaranteed a rematch when they want to declare their rematch, as long as, Sheamus and Cesaro don't lose them titles before they call for their rematch. As far as them being broken, I don't see Matt coming broken off of this because Matt was the one that was able to drag Jeff out of there. Matt seemed fine coming off of this match. It wasn't like he got knocked loopy or he got knocked out and they had to stretcher him out and all of a sudden he's going to come back, broken.
Right. Do you think now that Ambrose has lost the title, they will turn him heel and feud with Rollins, like they've been wanting to do?
I know people have been saying it. I haven't heard anything, honestly, from people that I've talked to within WWE. I know people keep saying, they want to turn Dean Ambrose, but honestly, they're kind of upset with Dean Ambrose right now from the last I heard. They feel like Dean Ambrose is just going through the motions for the most part. Yeah, he tries to put on good matches here and there, but mainly he's just like, oh, well, this is what I'm scripted to do. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do any more. I'm not going to do any less. And they expect someone like a Dean Ambrose who's good at improvising and good at, giving more input on things that he's told to do. And he's just doing the minimum right now is what I'm hearing. So as far as them wanting to turn him heel, I haven't heard anything about them actually wanting to turn him heel. They could, but he, just like the Hardys, he's guaranteed his rematch for his championship as well.
Right. Since Joe won the match tonight, do you think he has any shot of winning the title at Great Balls of Fire?
No. He's not going to. There's. I can tell you 0% chance. Unless something happens where Brock gets hurt, Joe will not walk out of Great Balls of Fire champion. And the plan right now, like I've been saying, is to go to SummerSlam and do Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman.
Right. So for that match, do you think Braun will be cleared in time?
That's the plan. Right now what they're doing is they're saying up to 6 months out with the injury, But when he comes back early, they're gonna play it up like a John Cena thing, like, oh, this guy is such a monster that he was able to recover and come back faster than anybody expected, and then he's just gonna go on a tear, get that match with Brock, and then look very strong coming out of that match as well.
Right. So I read an article today on the top person who attacked Amore on Raw.
Okay.
And it gave a really good clue because after Amore got attacked, it went to Graves, and Graves said, I want to shake the hand of the man that attacked Amore.
Right.
Then Big Cass came out, and he shook Big Cass's hand. Does that indicate something?
I mean, it could, and that is, they're right now, last I was told, is they don't know which route they're going yet. They could do Big Cass was the attacker. They could do that the Revival is the attacker. As of right now, they have both plans, there. It just depends on which one do they want to pull the trigger on. So they're going to tease both of them, like you said with the thing about the whole shaking Big Cass's hand. They got that there. But they're also doing the thing with the Revival as far as with Charlie Caruso last week saying, hey, we saw you were here at Raw last week. You were sneaking around. What were you guys really doing? Were you the ones that attacked Enzo? So they're trying to play up both ways until they make their decision.
Right, so the Cruiserweight title is very confusing right now because they gave Aries 3 chances.
Right.
He lost all 3 times.
Yep.
How does that make any sense?
It really doesn't at all. It really almost makes Austin Aries look as bad as Bayley, in my opinion.
Yeah. So with Aries not getting another title shot, hopefully,
right?
Who do you think would step up? Do you think they'd give Noam Dar a chance, or?
Oh, not even a shot. I'm telling you right now, Noam Dar is not getting a title shot. Only reason, I'm gonna tell you right now, maybe not the only reason, but the main reason Noam Dar gets pushed the way he does is because Vince laughs his ass off at the way he says, Alicia Fox. Vince finds that funny as hell and wants to hear it almost every week on TV. That's why you see Noam Dar so much, because Vince finds that funny. As far as him getting a championship match, I mean, he lost tonight, so that ain't going to happen. I think could be TJ Perkins, but I think somebody that they've been making look good is Jack Gallagher.
Well, the thing is, he's already had a shot at Neville, and so has Swan.
But who hasn't?
Perkins,
who hasn't?
And Mustafa Ali and Akira Tozawa.
Are they pushing Mustafa Ali? I mean, yes, they're pushing Tozawa to an extent, but Ali ain't getting pushed. I mean, that's like saying, what are you going to do? Give it to Drew Gulak?
Yeah.
No, I think over the last couple weeks, they've been pushing Gallagher as a top guy, putting him in that mix with TJ Perkins, Neville, Austin Aries. I don't think he's been pinned at all by Neville, so they've made him look good up against Neville. So I really think he could be somebody that is in line.
So I read an article on another one. It said that Neville on Monday he had his winning streak snapped. Like, he hadn't lost since he made his heel turn.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, no one knew about that one. How do you feel about Asuka breaking Goldberg's winning streak?
It's whatever, to be honest. I mean, there's nothing you can really say about it other than, Goldberg had a streak in WCW. I mean, WCW, he had a streak there. Asuka's now got a streak here. They didn't mention it once leading up to, and then all of a sudden they realized, hey, there's this thing here we can maybe work with. Let's try to do something with it. If they were pushing it as far as making it her character and story over the last couple of months, it'd be a different story. But because they never mentioned it at all on NXT other than she's been undefeated since coming here and she's an undefeated champion, but never once saying, how many matches she's been undefeated and saying that the house show stuff counts and this and that. To me, it's nothing to even think about.
All right. So, as you said in your NXT taping spoilers, Ember Moon is back.
Yes.
So, now that she is back, she's cleared. Is she getting the title at TakeOver?
I don't know the direction yet because as far as the women's title, they didn't tape anything as far as in front of the live crowd to set up for Brooklyn. They could have taped maybe a backstage segment that we don't know about because it wasn't in front of the live crowd. But as far as in the ring, they didn't set up anything to start going forward with the next challenger. So we don't know if they are going to go Ember Moon or not. That is who they've wanted to take the title from Asuka. But, I mean, if Asuka loses, do you bring her up to the main roster? Do you, have her just fight down in NXT for a little while? That's the question right there. Does she come straight to the main roster after losing that title or not?
Who are the next challengers for the Authors of Pain after they've beaten everybody?
Heavy Machinery. They already set it up at the last tapings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, all right. With that, I'm going to say thank you for the call and have a great night.
All right, you too, Tim.
All right. So I've been teasing this week that I got an announcement, a big announcement. I've partnered up with somebody, bringing something for you guys. So let's check out this video that I made earlier today. Hey guys, it's Tim from Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and we have a huge announcement for you guys. I wanted to figure out a way to say thank you for helping us reach 20,000 subscribers, and we're doing so with a giveaway. We have partnered up with the good people over at WrestleCrate to actually give some stuff away for you guys. We're going to do 2 separate giveaways. You can enter for both or just one or the other, but let's see exactly what you're going to be able to win. So what I'm calling the giveaway crate. We have the beach ball that says Beach Ball Mania. We have a Best of Jeff Hardy The Early Years DVD. We have a Kenny Omega pin. We have a ladder pin. We've got some stickers here. This one says, I'd rather be watching wrestling. This one's The Wondertaker. You guys get it? You get it? Stevie Wonder, The Undertaker. Then we've got some artwork here for you guys. We've got the Demon Finn Balor, Phenomenal One AJ Styles, Stardust, Kevin Owens, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And also in this crate, we have a Sami Zayn figure. And finally, I have to put this down to get this, we have a t-shirt. Matt Hardy, delete, 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 delete. Now, when you go to sign up for this giveaway, there's going to be 2 different options. That one's going to be called the crate, and then these ones, we got 2 autographs for you. First off, we have Lucha Underground star Brian Cage, and the former WWE and ECW star Sabu. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to go to the link in the description below, and you're going to sign up for the giveaway. You're going to put in your name, your email, and your Twitter handle if you have one. It doesn't matter if you don't. And then you're going to choose if you want to enter for the crate, if you want to enter for the autographs, or if you don't care what you win, you just want to win something, you can click both. The winner will be announced on the live stream following Money in the Bank in just a couple weeks, June 18th. So I just have to say once again, thank you guys for helping us reach 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I never thought we'd get there in under 2 years. This is all for you guys, just a way for me to say thank you. And again, a great big shout out has to go to WrestleCrate for sponsoring this. Hey guys, it's Tim from Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Alright guys, so as I said in that little video, we partnered up with WrestleCrate. WrestleCrate is sponsoring a giveaway on this channel, like I said. And all you got to do is go, link in the description below. It is pwugiveaway.weebly.com. That is the link. Again, it's going to be in the description below. It's all down there. I'm announcing the giveaway now. The winner will be announced. The winners, actually, will be announced on the Money in the Bank live stream, recap, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so all you got to do is go there. Like I said, put in your email, put in your name, Twitter handle if you have one, and then tell me what you want to win. Do you want to win the crate, or do you want to win the autographs, or do you not care? You just want to win something. And then we'll have 2 winners. And again, I got to say thank you to the great people at WrestleCrate who sent us all these goodies to give to you guys. And yeah, if you want to win, go sign up. You got, what is it? Money in the Bank's June 18th. So you got a couple weeks. You got about 2 or 3 weeks. And we'll announce the winners. I got to say again, thank you guys so much for helping us get past 20,000 subscribers in under 2 years. Our 2-year mark will be August 1st. And man, I just got to say, I didn't think I was going to be growing this fast that quickly, if that makes sense. 20,000, I thought, I'm going to wait a couple years, 3-4 years, and maybe I can get up there to 20,000. But hey, we did it, and we did it with the help of you guys watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, sharing the page, sharing our tweets, sharing our Facebook posts, sharing our Instagram posts. It's everything, not just, watching the YouTube videos. It's everything collectively, and you guys helping bring more eyes to us, more subscribers to us. I just got to say thank you, and this is our way of saying thank you and giving back. So 2 people will win. 1 person will win the crate. 1 person will win the autographs. And yeah, again, a big shout out does have to go to WrestleCrate for sponsoring this giveaway. And let's see who wins. But let's take this phone call here right now. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim.
How's it going? What'd you think of Extreme Rules?
You know, it was a decent show. I mean, it wasn't dragged out or anything. It was perfect.
Right.
I thought. I like having the bad guys win, but I thought there was just too many tonight. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, Sheamus and Cesaro. I don't mind them. I don't know. I would have kept that on the Hardys.
Yeah, but we don't know what the direction is going forward as far as why they wanted to change the titles now. It could be there could be an actual reason that we just don't know yet.
Yeah. We could see Enzo and Cass versus Sheamus and Cesaro, but you know, they could be splitting that up.
Exactly.
Them up. What do you think about having a Big Cass Enzo Amore split up?
I mean, it could be good for Big Cass and Enzo. He's gonna die, and
I was about to say Enzo. I mean, obviously you wouldn't fire him, but
no.
But I mean, you might as well. I mean, they're gonna use him as a Heath Slater.
Well, what Chris Jericho recommended. Chris Jericho said you send Enzo to the Cruiserweight division.
Potentially.
Chris Jericho actually said that. I think it was an interview with, I could be wrong here, but it was like Sports Illustrated or something. He said if they ever split Enzo and Cass up, Enzo could maybe do well to help bring, he's somebody that the fans like. They need more people that the fans are already behind in that division. So maybe if you say, Enzo's now in the Cruiserweight division, he's going to be on 205 Live for the next couple of weeks. Or
that'd be
every
popular.
Week going
Yeah, that'd be popular.
It's like with the Sasha Banks thing. They put Sasha Banks on 205 Live this week to see if having somebody with a recognizable name and a name that the fans already are behind can draw more eyes to the show.
Yeah, and we talked about that on the stream on Tuesday.
Right.
If you think about it, because I didn't think about the Cruiserweight. That was dumb of me. Like, usually I can process that, but, I was thinking, what would they do with Enzo? What are they going to have? Enzo find out that it was Big Cass and have some sort of footage, and then, all of a sudden they have a 2-minute blow-off match at SummerSlam where Cass just kills them. And
if they are going the Cass route, they have to do the match at SummerSlam. That would be the perfect place because, they're from that area.
Yeah.
Cool.
And obviously it wouldn't be a good match at all. It'd be a 2-minute blow-off match.
Yeah.
It'd be a great opening, to the show.
Right.
But I don't know. A couple more things. The caller said earlier putting the Shield back together, and it's never a good idea at the moment. But actually, right now, I'm actually beginning to think it is because if you want to do Brock versus Roman, the main WrestleMania 34, Vince wants to get the crowd behind him. Why don't they just put the Shield back together?
But you put the Shield back together and you potentially hurt Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins because if you align them with Roman Reigns, then the fans may start turning on them thinking, oh, now they're with Roman, we hate Roman, now we got to hate them.
But it's a risk that I think you should take. I don't think. Seth is a huge pop, and I guess Ambrose is kind of.
Yeah, but then you got to think, what do you do with the Shield together? You can't go that same route you did before, where they were like these guys that came through the crowd and they were mysterious.
Yeah,
and you can't do.
Yeah, because they all have their own gimmick now.
Right, you literally can't do anything similar to what they were before. They're just going to be three guys as friends together.
I personally think that they should do that. Something on Raw that besides Samoa Joe, there's nothing on Raw right now. You're right.
Well, you can't say nothing. They're gonna go Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt. They've been teasing that since the Superstar Shakeup.
Yeah, and that's gonna get a lot of fans talking, but. A Shield reunion could get a bunch of fans talking. Like you said, it might not be the best idea the more I think about it, but it wouldn't be bad per se, I guess.
But you're saying it'll get fans talking. Yeah, of course, but for how long? Like I said, if they can't be what they were before, how long before the fans are like, oh, they're just three guys that they're trying to put together? And it's not like you have a 3-man team on Raw they can go against. Even if the New Day was on Raw, You can't see them going up.
That'd be weird.
Because they're not going to be. It's not like you're going to have them challenging for the tag titles. They're all so big now. Before, they were the new guys.
It'd be a complete downgrade.
Right, because before they were the new guys. Dean Ambrose was their leader. He got the U.S. title. Rollins and Reigns had the tag titles. But now it's like, yeah, you can have guys that have been world champions get the tag titles again. But it's just, it's a nostalgia thing that I don't see working for more than maybe a month or two, if that.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to want them to be coming
true.
through the crowd and be who they used to be, and they can't because they're different now. They've all three been established as three different guys. They're not similar in any way anymore.
Yeah, and that could hurt their superstar a reputation too.
Exactly.
I mean, it'd be a complete downgrade for the whole Raw roster. I mean, if you're gonna have them as jobbers on the mid card, who are you gonna put? You know, in Ambrose's rings and Seth's place. You know.
Right.
So, but it wouldn't be bad, but. I kind of have a scenario, and this is my last thing, and you can maybe agree with me. Big Show is retiring, right, at the end of the year, so we think.
I'm pretty sure his contract is up before next year's WrestleMania. I want to say maybe next February, and he said he's got no interest in re-signing at all.
Okay, well, yeah, it makes sense. Well, I mean, my dad has always been a huge Big Show fan. He ever since I got into wrestling, back in like 2012 and stuff, he's been a Big Show fan, and he lost all that weight. My dad said, well, he bought himself 5 more years. I'm like, no. But the thing is Big Show, unlike Titus, Titus O'Neil's built like a champion. So is Big Show, and I think making Big Show, what you do is, you can probably argue it and you'll probably beat me, but what you do is Big Show, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar, in a triple threat in the main event SummerSlam. Big Show pins Braun Strowman at SummerSlam, becomes Universal Champion, and has great title defenses against Rollins. And then a few weeks before Survivor Series, Lesnar comes out and just kills Big Show at Survivor Series, and that could write Big Show off as his retirement, and boom, Brock has a championship again.
Yeah, that's actually really good fantasy booking. But Big Show has said he doesn't need another run at the championship. He doesn't need another run on top. If he's going to do anything going forward before he's done, he's going to help put other people over. He's going to help get other people better than where they are. He's going to help. It's kind of like I think it's like who did he compare himself to? I'm trying to remember who he compared himself to. There was somebody that was like this when they first were going to retirement, that all they wanted to do is they wanted to help get the younger guys over. They wanted to help get the younger guys more established as far as beating somebody with a name like the Big Show. So as far as him getting the championship again, I don't see that because it's not something that he's even really, as far as he's been saying in interviews, interested in.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool because, Brock, let's be real. Does anybody really want to see Brock holding the championship all the way till next year? Don't we? It's okay if he gets it back somehow on the road WrestleMania. I just thought Big Show would be perfect.
The way you planned it out was pretty almost perfect way to do it. I don't know. Well, yeah, the only way you would be able to go through that is pinning Braun, I guess, if you think about it. Pin Brock, you could pin Brock, but then if you want to make him still right, if you still want to make him look extra strong going into Mania next year, you got to say that he hasn't really actually lost himself. But yeah, so the way your fantasy booking is really spot on, a good idea. But it's just if you think about it,
unfortunately.
Right, and if you think about it, this whole run Brock's going to get, it's pretty similar to what he had last time leading up to WrestleMania 31. He had the title for almost a year. He, was there on a not regular basis, but he was more consistent because he's going to do the same thing. We saw him pretty consistent last time as the champion, and I'm hearing that he's already told them that if you want more dates than it's in my contract, we could negotiate that. He's not against working more dates than he's already agreed upon. So as far as that goes... Go for
it's not even the fact that if it's not even the fact that he's there. It's just the fact that he's the champion that a lot of people know isn't going to lose to WrestleMania.
Right.
That's my opinion. I don't mind Lesnar as a champion, but I like it better. I mean, if like let's just say Samoa Joe beats him, which is never going to happen, not in a million years.
Right.
But let's just say Samoa Joe beats him, and they plan Reigns versus Samoa Joe. I know Samoa Joe's going to be there and going to be defending, which you wouldn't mind. But Lesnar, he's just going to show up at the big pay-per-views, out in Great Balls of Fire. Boom, that's your championship run. It's almost like they're building him up as a UFC kind of character, which he already is.
Right, but I can see him working more than just the big pay-per-views. I mean, I can probably see him working Hell in a Cell maybe.
Yeah.
I think Raw's got No Mercy now. And like I said, he's willing. He's from what I'm hearing, he's willing to work more dates, work more championship matches, defend the title more regularly than you would assume from Brock Lesnar. So we'll just have to wait and exactly see. Like I said previously, he's supposed to come back June 12th. Not tomorrow's Raw, but that's the Raw after this week. And then he's already, everything he's doing towards SummerSlam is locked in. They're not changing any of those plans. They got all the dates set for that. But as far as working more dates, it's all going to come after SummerSlam. And we'll see exactly what they all really agree on then. Because if they're going to sign him to more dates, they got to pay him for the more dates. And they have to come up with, a price per date. So they'll work everything out. It'll go well.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they had Samoa Joe winning it because it doesn't have Rollins. It would be a good match, but we've been there, done that. And Samoa Joe, that's interesting because he's kind of the heel and he's hungry. I mean, he's not going to win it, but I'm really interested in seeing the build up in this. Like I'm like that's like Finn Balor. I mean, obviously he's my favorite on Raw, but like you said, turn him heel, not right now. That's my opinion. Let him do his babyface stuff, and that's why I was just hoping that he would not win tonight, because that's a big sign that he might turn heel, which I didn't want.
Well, you don't even have to turn him heel as far as if you were just doing the one-off. If you were just doing the one-off, you don't have to turn him heel, especially with the whole way that Paul Heyman praised him on Raw. So
yeah, that was pretty cool.
I don't see you would have to turn him heel if it was a one-off. Now, if you knew that it can go longer than one pay-per-view, then you would be like, well, yeah, you're eventually going to have to turn him heel. You can use it to turn him heel and go forward. And I have heard that they could use a Brock Lesnar feud to turn Finn Balor heel and maybe even align him with Gallows and Anderson. That is something
that'd be good.
That is something that people in creative have pitched over the last month.
Yeah, and my last thing again. Okay. Do you like Raw Talk at all? I mean, personally, I like Talking Smack way better.
I mean, it's the same show.
It's the same thing, but Talking Smack's more passionate, I believe.
Well, it's really because it's more consistent. You would think that if we had Raw Talk after every Raw, and you knew it was going to be the same hosts every week or pretty much every week. That's what it is. It's just pretty much that you're used to Talking Smack, and you're used to seeing pretty much the same guys on there every week. So they've gotten into the rhythm of how this show works, and Renee Young's always there, and she's either got Daniel Bryan or Shane McMahon there with her. So I think that's why you may feel like they're more into it as far as that's their third hour. Raw's got 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's their third hour. So...
Personally, I know Talking Smack is good, but I mean, and yeah, you're gonna say, well, right after it's 205 Live, and that crowd isn't gonna watch Talking Smack for a half hour, then wait to go to 205 Live. But I mean, I think
no,
I think
that's not how it works. What it is SmackDown ends, and they go straight into 205 Live.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same arena.
Right. As 205 Live is going on in the arena, they're filming Talking Smack backstage, and then Talking Smack...
Oh, they are, so it's not live.
No, and then not anymore. And then Talking Smack goes on after 205 Live on the network.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Well, unless it's right after a pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Okay, well, have a great night, enjoy your show, and congratulations on 20,000.
Thank you, and thanks for the call.
Yep, keep doing what you're doing.
All right, have a great night. So, yeah, one reason why he may think, Talking Smack, they seem more passionate about that show, and they put more into that show. It's because it's consistent. They do the show every week. Raw Talk, you usually don't even know there's a Raw Talk until they announce it during like a pay-per-view. Like, you can kind of assume that they're going to do a Raw Talk after every Raw pay-per-view, but you don't know until you're like, oh, that's right, I forgot they even do Raw Talk. And they said it like halfway through this show. Hey, Corey Graves is going to do Raw Talk with Renee Young. We're going to have the winner of the main event. We're going to have so-and-so and so-and-so. Like, okay, cool. It's because it's not consistent why you would think Talking Smack is better. And they use it in a better way as far as to build up stuff on SmackDown. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, I'll make this quick. Maybe I'm just biased as a Dean Ambrose fan, but I personally don't really see why they would be mad at Renee Young for that tweet.
Okay, hey, are you on a speaker or something? Because there's a super bad echo and I can't understand you.
Now, can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm maybe a little bit biased as a...
Hello?
Be a little bit biased as a Dean Ambrose fan, but I don't really know why they would be mad at Renee for that tweet. It's like, well, Kevin Owens already pretty much, gave it away anyway, even though he didn't mean to. So I don't really see why you wouldn't get her involved in the storyline.
Right,
make it more interesting.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know if when the Miz went back there, if it was storyline. We don't know if when the Miz went back there, it was actually real heat and they were mad that she sent out the tweet. We don't know this. It could be that they are adding her to the storyline with Dean Ambrose, but at the same time, she's not on Raw. She's not there every week. She's only at the Raw pay-per-views. So with this, we could maybe think that she sent out that tweet thinking she was staying in character or something because everyone knows about her and Dean, and somebody backstage got mad about it. That's only something we can assume could have possibly happened, especially with the way that she thought she was supposed to just go in there, Miz walk up, she introduced him, and the Miz just look out and goes, no, you stop. So, I mean, there could be something to it. There could not. We don't know.
Yeah, because as a Dean Ambrose fan, I've seen Maurice insert herself into this feud maybe over a half dozen times at this point. So I keep thinking to myself, yeah.
No. But the difference here is Maurice is quote unquote his valet or his manager. Renee Young is quote unquote a journalist. She is there to interview people, to give the scoops, to be like the reporter. So as far as a reporter, you're not supposed to be biased against or for a certain person. That's the whole thing, especially how Miz played it off on Raw Talk. As a reporter, as a journalist, you're not supposed to pick favorites. You're just supposed to report the story and get the interview and try to get the most factual stuff you can. That's how Miz played it up on Raw Talk. That's how I felt, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, to change the subject a little bit, I'm actually really glad that Samoa Joe won. He was my pick to win. I know he's probably not going to beat Brock, but hey, I've been waiting for this match for almost 2 years, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, this has been a dream match for a lot of people since, really, he showed up in NXT.
I keep thinking, ever since SummerSlam especially, but I've been thinking about it for the last 2 years. I mean, what if Brock faced somebody who has the same physicality as him?
Exactly.
What would happen then?
Right, because I know they're trying to do that with Braun Strowman, but Samoa Joe, he's got the experience and stuff to be able to put on a really good match with Brock Lesnar. A really good match.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Brock Lesnar, so if Joe, put him in his place, that would really get him points for me.
I mean, just to give Joe a little, I mean, I'm not going to say there's more than a 1-2% chance Joe's walking out champion.
Yeah, I hope this leads to like the Great Balls of Fire like storyline. I hope it leads and then stretches straight into WrestleMania 34, and then where we could do Brock and Lesnar again, and then Joe can win there. Even though I know they're probably going to do Reigns versus Lesnar.
Oh no, the plan.
I'd really
the
like
plan
to see
even
that.
the plan even before WrestleMania 33 happened was WrestleMania 34. Because once Goldberg got the title, they said, "All right, he's dropping it to Brock. Who's going to beat Brock? Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 34." That was set before they even started the pay-per-view for WrestleMania 33. They knew where they were going for the whole next year. So with Roman Reigns getting that championship match next year, that's been in place since weeks before WrestleMania 33.
Yeah. Well, I just have to say, I know Vince is high on Roman, but
Right.
I feel like you shouldn't give him a mid-card title, but I feel like you should take him away from the main event scene, at least for a couple months,
and
just put him in a single competition with somebody.
Right, and there is a plan in place. Now, I don't know if they're going to fully go through with it or not, for him to challenge Miz for the IC title after Great Balls of Fire. Whether that be at SummerSlam or after SummerSlam, I don't know, but I have heard that creative was told, come up with some ideas as far as Roman challenging Miz for the IC title.
Oh yeah, then maybe it could possibly do like a Shield triple threat for the IC championship.
Right, I have heard that as well. If Roman does get the title from Miz, which I would assume a good chance he would.
Oh yeah, I don't think Vince would let Roman lose to Triple H. Miz.
Right.
I doubt he would. Yeah, that's the thing, though. I know Maurice is just a backstage worker, but I don't know, man. Every time I see Dean out there by himself at his 2-on-1, I just think to myself, what if she was there? Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because Dean's being a bit of an idiot, not paying attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they did kind of tease it last year on SmackDown, but then they never really went anywhere with it.
Either that, or when Ruby Riott gets called up, have her deal with Maurice. That would be interesting.
But why? Maurice is not going to wrestle again. She only wrestled the one time for WrestleMania because John Cena and Nikki Bella wanted the match. It's not like Maurice, if she's going to wrestle again, it's going to be a big match like they did at WrestleMania. And Ruby Riott, what does that do for Maurice, winning or losing to Ruby Riott?
Well, I don't want to see him wrestle. I want to see her get beat up by a girl chick.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, with that then, how would you book as far as Ruby Riott joining forces with Dean Ambrose?
I don't know. Doesn't she just feel like she could be a female member of the Shield when you look at her?
Not at all to me.
She kind of sort of looks like it to me. I don't know why. Her and Baron Corbin feel like they'd fit in.
Not
they
to
both
me,
look
at
the
least.
part. Yeah. All right. But I don't know, man. I just didn't really want Dean to lose, man. I didn't think it was time. I would have more dealt with him losing that to Joe than Miz, because.
No, I think Miz getting the title is actually better, because if you think about it, like a caller said earlier, Dean Ambrose is the champion and Dean Ambrose is not the champion. There's no difference. Miz not champion, he's good, but when Miz is the champion, he's great, and he makes that title seem more important. Like I said, when Dean's the champion, there's no difference. He doesn't make the title seem any more important. It's just he's out there carrying the championship. How many times did he actually defend it since winning that championship? Maybe 3 times since January when he won it?
I could be wrong, but he beat Corbin. Didn't he beat Corbin twice?
He beat Corbin. I know he beat him on the pre-show for WrestleMania, and many people don't even remember that match.
I kind of feel like he beat him before that, but I could be wrong.
He might
I don't
have.
think so.
I know Corbin was always beating him up backstage and stuff.
And then he only faced Miz once, and that's when he took the title from him.
Right.
All right. And then he didn't. I guess you're right, but
yeah. I mean, Dean Ambrose
by any fault of his own, I don't think that's his fault.
But it's the thing of that people backstage just feel like he's just skating by right now. And he's not doing anything extra to be like, I'm the champion. This is why me being the champion is important. When The Miz is the champion, he makes sure you know he's the champion. He makes sure that you know that him being the champion is important. Him being the Intercontinental champion is almost, if not more important than being the world champion. And that's just my opinion, and other people that I've talked to also feel the same way. So, I mean, you as a Dean Ambrose fan, yeah, I can see where you're like, well, you know, Dean Ambrose is that. And everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
I feel like just to be fair, I feel like you should just, you know, move Miz up the card, man. You know, have him, you know, eventually start up a feud with Finn Balor to push him into a main event scene.
Right. You could do something like that. I mean, I honestly did like when Miz was WWE champion back around WrestleMania 27 and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't personally have anything against the guy. It's just like, as a Mavericks fan, I don't really like any other team. So as a Dean Ambrose fan, I really don't like the Miz.
Right. That makes sense.
So, one thing I really honest, you know what? I feel like the downfall for Dean kind of began with, not that I'm saying like but where I feel like things kind of went bad was when he faced Brock at WrestleMania.
For sure. When he talked bad about Brock Lesnar on the Stone Cold podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when, you know, he started getting heat backstage, and everyone was like, well, you say that Brock was lazy in that match, but we've seen times when you've been complacent and this and that. And people really felt that he had no right to say what he said about Brock Lesnar not wanting to do more in that match. And that's really when, you, like you said, you slowly started to see the decline of Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I guess Stone Cold did kind of put him on the spot there, and on the show. Yeah, I mean, you can't really say one way or the other. I mean, you can't really say unless you're there backstage and you've seen everything to know what's going on.
Exactly.
To say whether it's all true or not. But as a Dean Ambrose fan, I'm going to support him no matter what.
Right.
Because I like his character and I like how he is.
Yeah.
When he's not in character on like Total Divas and stuff as well. So, but it was nice talking with you, man. I just came to really complain about the whole thing on Raw Talk with Miz.
Right.
So,
yeah,
it was nice talking with you.
Yeah, I really appreciate the call, and have a great night.
You too.
All right, let's check out the chat here. I haven't checked the chat in a little bit, but a couple of you said you were watching the basketball game, switching back and forth. Oh, man. This is kind of wrestling, kind of not. And Spencer Hefferman, I like his analogy here. He says, once again, I was watching the basketball game tonight. Kevin Durant joining the Warriors is like Hulk Hogan joining the NWO. Oh, man. You know, not to get too much into the basketball stuff, but, you know, I know a lot of people that they're, well, never mind. I'm not going to get into that. I don't know how many of you would be interested and stuff, but let's see. What else are you guys saying? Big Show says contract is up. Yeah, February 2018. And like I said, he's not interested in, like, you know, getting put on top one last time, getting the title one last time, being a challenger one last time. It's just the fact of if he's going to do anything that he feels is worthy, it's going to be helping get somebody else over. It's going to be helping make somebody else look good and look better. Let's see. You choose winner. Other person. Oh, okay, never mind. But yeah. Well, before I go, I gotta say. Well, yeah, okay. So that's gonna do it, I guess, for our Extreme Rules recap here tonight. I want to say thank you to everybody who called in, everybody here in the chat, watching live, everybody watching on replay here on YouTube.com. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody who helped us reach 20,000 subscribers. Excuse me. If you did miss the announcement, we are doing a giveaway. We have reached, like I said, 20,000 subscribers, so we're doing a giveaway to say thank you for that. We have partnered with WrestleCrate. They've sent us a lot of goodies, and you can go to pwugiveaway.weebly.com to sign up for the giveaway. There's 2 different things you can win. You can either win a crate of goodies, or you can win 2 autographs, one from Brian Cage and one from Sabu. You can sign up to win either, or you can sign up. Let me compose this. Okay, so when you sign up, you're going to put in your name, your email. Those are required. Your Twitter handle if you want. So I can shout you on Twitter if you're one of the winners. And then you're going to choose, okay, I really want to win I want the crate. So I want to make sure I win the crate if I win. Or I want the autographs. Or if you don't care and you don't, one or the other, then, okay, I'll put my name in for either or both. I got pictures of everything, and then in the morning, the same video you guys did see here on this stream, I will be posting out as well in the morning. So yeah, again, thank you for helping us reach over 20,000 subscribers. I really, really appreciate that, and we're just going to continue to grow. We have the Gawk Box. If you guys would like to donate there, it is completely free. It just takes a couple minutes of your time. You go to gawkbox.com/PWUnlimited. You go there and you watch a 15, 30-second clip. You download an app. It's best done on a tablet or a mobile device. For some reason, it's telling you that nothing's coming up. You could have ad blockers on. But yeah, you go there, you interact with that website, and their advertisers tip me. Doesn't cost anything to you. If you're here live, you can always hit that super chat button. If you're not here live, then you can either go to our Streamlabs page and donate, or you can go to our GoFundMe, gofundme.com/helpupgradepwu. And again, the final way you can help us out is go to our TeePublic store. Get one of our t-shirts. You can get our t-shirts. Any of our t-shirt designs can be purchased as a sticker, as a cell phone case, as a coffee mug. Unfortunately, we could no longer sell our I'm a Jinder Mahal guy t-shirt, as WWE did have that taken down off of our store, unfortunately. But yeah, and I mean, the greatest way you guys have supported us and helped us out over these last year and a half, almost 2 years, is watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting, sharing our tweets, sharing our Facebook posts, everything. Everything you guys have done to help us is just going to help us continue to grow. So again, thank you to everybody who has helped us out. A big thank you goes to WrestleCrate, who is sponsoring this giveaway. And we'll see you tomorrow after SmackDown. Or no, after Monday Night Raw. But that's going to do it for this live stream. Again, thank you guys so much for being here live. And if you're not here live and you're watching the replay, thank you for watching then as well. Have a great night. And again, we'll see you Monday after Raw. Same time as always.